minor in Italy, which is also a part of the HRE. And like I've been trying this achievement for so long. Like I've maybe given it like 4 or 5 attempts like throughout different patches, and it's very difficult because you're just in such a crappy situation just from the very start because you have like barely any ally options, and then like expanding in Italy is just incredibly hard with the coalitions and like the intricate like web of alliances. But this is like going to be kind of a guide of like how I like managed to get by. So from the very start, I pretty much allied the Pope right off the bat because we both hated Florence, and I allied him, and then pretty much went straight to war with Florence and promised to give Pope land. But spoiler alert, I didn't. And I forgot that they changed it to where, um, like pretty much every country around you loses trust of you. Like if you promise somebody like your ally land, but you don't give it to them. And well, so like around this time, the Renaissance showed up, and of course instead of being in like my country, it showed up in Genoa. So I was thrilled about that. But nevertheless, kept moving on. So I now have Firenze, and only half of Europe hated me, so that was fun. But I didn't get a coalition, thankfully. I thought about taking Pisa, but then yeah, no, it was just a crazy coalition. But so like I think this is around the time that I took my first idea group, which was plutocratic, because I'm a republic, and plutocratic is just an all-around good idea. I mean, I thought about taking exploration, but there's really no point because you're like in the Mediterranean, and unless you're like playing as like Castile or France or England or Portugal, there's not much point in like taking exploration because you just can't reach it until you get Tech 7 diplomacy, and I think it's around Tech 7 admin that you get a second idea group. But as you can see, like I've slowly started expanding again. I think around this time I was guaranteed by Milan, and I had an alliance with France, so I didn't really need the Pope anymore because he like rivaled me. But I think I was strong enough to like handle my own. And I think right around now is nope, not when I started colonizing. However, like I was so focused on my country and I wasn't really paying attention because as Lucky, it's just pretty much like in the beginning, like early game, all you do is just sit around and wait. So I didn't really get to like see, I guess, the world and how like it was forming. And like, oh yeah, also part of the achievement for Lucky Lucca, which I completely forgot to mention. Yeah, you have to own Lucknow, which is in India, but it's not like in southern India where you can just hop from the Maldives to Vijayanagar and get it. No, it's in the upper middle part of India, right up here. So you have to fight and conquest your happy butt all the way up in there. But like nevertheless, I had a lot of fun with this campaign. It was just really difficult, and there's just not much to do like early game. But basically, like my goals for like the early game were to form a merchant republic, because they like changed how you could form merchant republics, and instead of like it being like 12 states in a country, it was like 21. Like below 21 you can form a merchant republic, so that was really cool. Like, and it counts like states, not actual like provinces you have. So like say like these 3 provinces are a state and these 2 are a state, okay, and just add CN along with it. But like say this is a state and this is a state, like it only counts like all the provinces in here. Like say I colonized like all around here, it wouldn't count as like state provinces, so I could still like transform my government without having to worry. Anyways, it was around this time that I took up colonization, and well, arguing for like the longest time was not colonized, so I thought I was just gonna be able to happily just hop along there and then across Africa to like southern Africa to over there. But as soon as I was getting ready to press the button, I should have paused for this, and I kicked myself for it. But like instead of pausing, I was just like, oh, nobody's gonna take it. And as soon as I was getting ready to click the button, Spain sent to colonizer. So I had to wait a little bit longer and go all the way over to the Caribbean in Trinidad over here. However, this is the start, and I was really excited that I finally got to start doing something instead of just sitting around and waiting for like favors to build up with my nearby allies so I can just do something. But yeah, like in Italy, I was pretty much just stuck doing nothing. Also, I think colonialism's popped up around here, which formed in, well, like took shape in Portugal, I think. Also, the Iberian wedding happened, so Castile got Aragon and Naples, so that was fun because they pretty much prevented me from ever going to Naples. But yeah, like colonialism, came around here, and it was pretty easy. Yeah, okay, not right now. But instead of like hopping from from Africa to down to South Africa, I decided to kind of consolidate myself and like bring in more trade. So I colonized like the important trade nodes of the Caribbean. Just get some more cash flowing, and it's just good provinces just in general. And again, you don't have to worry about these provinces like preventing you from forming a merchant republic, because like money is so important because you just need money for troops. Also, like you just need like to build up, or you need to just find some way to gain lots of manpower, like through quantity or like through just massive amounts of barracks. Like mid to late game, you just need so many troops and so much manpower. Also, I colonized Gold Coast right here. That way I can, it's a trade node, like it's a pretty good trade node, well, trade port, and like allows me a lot of options just to hop, which I hop down to South Africa right here. Did I call? Nope, haven't colonized that yet. But like I think like around here I have 2 colonists. So yeah, I definitely do because I'm colonizing the Caribbean like crazy. And I've actually gotten a foothold in Mexico because like Mexico, like if you're doing like a colonial game, is just so important to grab because there's just so many good resources here, especially as Lucca, because like you need all the resources you can get. And like colonial nations, because that really helps your force limit, and like I said earlier, you just need a lot of manpower and a lot of force limit, like just a lot of soldiers in general. But yeah, I'm like expanding over here in Mexico. Also, I named my colonial nation Pizza da Taco because I don't know, I thought it was funny because pizza Italian but taco Mexican. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Yeah. But oh yeah, and Caribbean colony. Oh my gosh, Jersey Shores. I hope that's like not offensive or anything. I wouldn't say I thought it was funny, but I thought it was humorous. I guess that's the same thing as funny. But anyways, so I am now colonizing over here, and I'm hoping to slowly come, yep, there we go, in Diego Garcia. And then now that I'm in Diego Garcia, it's just a simple step from just building a spy network and getting a claim on the Maldives because I don't have expansion yet. And like 2 idea groups you just, well actually like, well 3 idea groups you absolutely need for this playthrough is you need to have exploration, expansion, and quantity, because like you're like, it doesn't matter like how good of a start you have, it's just impossible to expand in Italy just really early because everybody is just allied to great powers. Like at this time I'm like allied to France, thankfully, and I think I'm allied to Spain as well. I know I was definitely allied to Spain later, but like I think yeah, I was definitely allied to France at this moment. But like friends usually will ally you in the beginning unless you do something to make them angry. But yeah, he's a really, really good ally to have because, France. Curb stomp anybody. But yeah, you can see France is starting to colonize down in Colombia, and nobody's really touched East America. Even me, because I'm like too focused on Caribbean and that name, man. But in Caribbean and Mexico. Also in Africa. But like, this is pretty much my only really big province in Africa because I mean I didn't really have any interest in Africa. I mean I was going for a Master of India. Oh, and I have already annexed the Maldives. Excuse me, goodness, got a little frog in my throat. But I also like took a province over here for. I mean I don't know. There's not really much reason. Yeah, you don't need to like worry about the East Indies. There's like not much to it. Also, like I mean, Ternate like now I guess they've changed it to where like other nations will colonize, like these little island nations will colonize like more often now, because Ternate is insane with their colonization. I mean, they like, by the end of this they colonize so much of the East Indies. Also, this isn't my island right here. This is the Ottomans. Like, the Ottomans are colonizing. I mean, look how big they are already. They've already taken most of Egypt, and they're, like, making their way into Arabia. But no, you're like, that's not enough. We just need to colonize as well. So, like, in the beginning, my biggest worry was, oh no, are they gonna, like, take parts of India? Like, I could not fight the Ottomans. Like, there's just no way. Also, a big thing to note, like, for some reason, AI Vijayanagar just does not like taking, like, these southern, like, nations. Like, he might, like, annex one or two, but he just will not annex all of it. He'll, like, leave them around. He'll, like, probably be, like, buddy-buddy with them, or he'll just, like, leave them alone. Like, I was lucky in this case because he just kind of left them alone, and Malabar was unallied, so it was just really easy to get a foothold in India. But yeah, as you can see, like, I'm pretty much stopped expanding in Italy because, like, Mantua was. Oh, never mind. Okay, I just ate Mantua. But like, it was like around that time that like Venice is allied to France. I think Savoy was allied to France, and obviously I'm allied to France, and so like I couldn't declare on anybody without getting France on me. But yeah, you can see Spain's been formed. He's integrated Naples and everything. So pretty much goodbye, dream. Also, it was around this time that I think I was already a Merchant Republic, but it was around this time that I think I converted to Reform, just because it's really good. Like, it synergizes very, very well with Merchant Republics, and so I got a center of trade, and which pretty much converted most of these nations around me. Like, it converted Venice and it converted Savoy. And I was really thrilled to see that because it made it easier for them to, like, they didn't hate me because we were all the same religion, but that was pretty much it. Like, I think a few of these nations up here converted, but that was about it. But, like, Reformed is really good for trade nations. But I've pretty much, like, slowed down with my colonization of the New World. I've just kind of started conquering Mexico a little bit more. I've gotten a foothold in Louisiana. Wait till you see what I named that. I'm not really good with names, but yeah, you see, I've gotten a nice foothold in India, which is super important. Meanwhile, Delhi is expanding like crazy, and that was a lot of fun to deal with. Also, I declared war on Siak for whatever reason. Like, again, there's no point in colonizing the East Indies. I mean, it's so cluttered, and so you won't get much trade out of it. I mean, you get a few like really good provinces like spices and Chinaware and stuff, but really I think you're better off like being over here. But anyways, like, I've conquered a nice few provinces from Malabar. Portugal's gotten Goa, so I'll have to go to war with him later because I need to get the Master of India achievement. But Vijayanagar is pretty stable at the moment. And, like, again, like, there's no way I could fight him one-on-one because my force limit was, like, 20k at this point, and his was, like, 60 or 70k, so, like, even though I was, like, way technologically advanced, like, way ahead of him, like, in military tech, he was just, would have overwhelmed me. So I decided, bide my time, wait, see what happens, build on my colonial nations over here, so that way I get more force limit. But yeah, And there we go. I finish off my lovely naming of countries. I formed the colonial nation of Greece. And now this one I was, particularly proud of at the time because I was like, it's Louisiana, it's known for its, greasy, good food and whatnot. But then, like, I think it's like those old-timey movies, like, those Italians with, like, their slick back hair and they're, like, called greasers. And I was like, it's good. And, yeah, again, I pretty much just gave up naming after that point. It was like Luck in Peru and like New Tuscany or whatever, and I just kind of gave up hope. But yeah, like I was really lucky because it's over here with like institutions and stuff, because like all the institutions, like after Renaissance, which I took because I annexed Genoa, which was really strong because that's just those are really good provinces to have. But I got really lucky because like I think I met all the conditions to like have manufactories and global trade spawn in my country, which is super strong because you don't have to worry about like wait for spread and all that stuff. I think printing press like spawned up here. Also, like important note, Denmark still had both of his unions at this time. Like it's 1618 and Denmark still has his unions. He hasn't integrated them or anything. They're just there. Bohemia is super powerful, and the Lee War has already happened. And surprise, surprise, the Protestants won because France turned reformed. That's right, France converted to reform, and I was so happy. And then like I decided to take a break around here, like 1618, 1620, and then I came back. And France rivaled me. And I was like, ugh. Well, I think, I thought you were just going to do that for show. Nothing bad was going to happen. I still had Spain as a rival. I mean, not a rival, an ally. Oh, goodness, if I had as a rival, the campaign probably would have ended. But then France declared war on me because he got a personal union over Savoy. And Savoy had claims all along me because we were rivals. And so he declared for Genoa, and I was just like, ugh. But thankfully Spain was on my side, and we pretty much ended up getting a white peace. And so, the big blue blob was, curtailed, at least for now. And then, so just keep building up your colonial nations. It's just so important because it just gives you so much force limit now. And then it was around this time that France decided, hey, let's go round 2. But surprise, surprise, I brought a new buddy. Guess who I PU'd? Great Britain. Yeah, France had both Savoy and Great Britain under him, and then he declared on me. And for some reason, Spain was busy at the time. I don't know what he was doing. I think he was conquering the Congo at this time, but he was apparently too busy to defend me, so I had to fend off France and England and Savoy. Thankfully, I built up so many forts in my country. My country was impenetrable at this time. Because they stood on a province, and then the area is kind of weird with sieging. Because if you get close to them with an army kind of bigger than theirs, they just retreat. Even if they'll probably win. But so I kind of got cocky and everything because I was flaunting around with my 20 stack because nobody can siege me. And then France comes in with a 40 stack and then attacks me. But thankfully I reinforced with 30 stacks, so it was 50 against 40. But I forgot how OP France's troops are and how underpowered I was, and he just stacked my 50k. And I was like, this war has been fun, but I'm gonna just what do you want, France? Thankfully, he declared a colonial war because we were fighting over here in the colonies. He wanted something from me. I can't remember. I think it can't that war was later. But we ended up fighting over an East American colony, and he wanted so much of my land and so much of my colonial nations. And I was like, yeah, nah. And I had to pay him off 10,000 ducats, which was not good because it just helped him build up his force limit even more. But yeah, like meanwhile, Malwa like was able to win a war against Vijayanagar, and like Vijayanagar really suffered losses. And I took that opportunity to attack in their moment of weakness, and so I was able to expand a little bit further into India. But now that I've gotten a really good foothold, I was able to establish like a really good trade company, and like it just gave me like so much like naval force limit that I was just able to like pretty much fight off any like naval invasion they had. And then I guess Vijayanagar started falling to rebels at this point, and then Balmanis just kind of started slowly annexing Vijayanagar. Man, I was like, oh cool, happy days. And I was able to just take the rest of Vijayanagar, someplace like coming here soon. But yeah, you definitely just want to like every province you take, just turn it into a trade company, core it, raise autonomy. Yeah, because like you will get rebels up the butt, and it will be such a drain on your manpower, and you just won't be able to do anything because you're gonna be sitting around just waiting for your manpower to recover. Meanwhile, you're like on a time crunch because you have to take all of India, starting as one province minor before 1821. And India at this point is pretty much no joke because, like, since I was Italy, well, pretty much northern Italy, like I usually like my provinces were really good, so institutions really like spread to me really fast, and then they spread over here really fast. So like these Indian nations usually got pretty okay tech. I mean, they were still usually like 3 techs behind me in military, but again, like their forces were just so overwhelmingly like big. Like Malwa was just such a hassle to take out because he just had so much force limit, and generals were just amazing because again, Lucca's like does not have anything good in military ideas. Well, like traditions, I guess, or like, their national ideas aren't like Italian ideas just aren't good in general. So I was able to slowly expand into this by kind of being cheesy and declaring on their allies, because Balmanis was, I think, allied to Malwa, but I attacked like Malwa's ally and just annexed him through that, which isn't really good for your like diplo or admin points. But I mean, I didn't care. I was feeling super rushed, even though it's 1679. I still had plenty of time, and at this point I have a good size of India. However, Bengal was allied to Delhi, and these guys had like an insane force limit, and meanwhile I had like maybe I was thinking 50k at this point. And so I was just, nah, it's alright. But yeah, like pretty much all the institutions have come. Enlightenment came up there, and like, I mean, yeah, it's just like all the institutions came. So I was all caught up. I was a great power. All these colonial nations I had. Here we go. Like, not quite yet. It was like later on that France declared on me, and like I had to just give him 10,000 ducats. But like, yeah, like not go colonial. Well, go colonial as Lucca, but like go trade Republic as soon as you can because it's just so good. It's so helpful. You just get so much money, and you just build up like buildings, and like because I was able to just make everything a level 6, like 4 fort I think was unlocked, or maybe level 6. Anyways, like I always had like max level forts all across my country at all times. But meanwhile, like I just kind of gave up conquest in Italy because Venice was allied to France, and France had both Savoy and Great Britain under him, and France was allied to Spain. Although I was never going to attack France directly. It's just suicide. Man, I'm annexed pretty much all of Peru to get more of that gold, because gold is just so good for money. But basically, I'm just rolling in ducats at this point. I have a pretty good size force limit, and I've taken a lot of India. However, like there's pretty much just 3 great Indian powers left, and but I think Bengal was allied to Malacca, so I kind of just staved off attacking them. But they were also allied to Malwa, so I just attacked Malwa and to get to Bengal. But I think it was around like I was rocking 70k at this point, but Delhi had like 120. So I was just like, yeah, I don't think I want to attack Delhi. And they were allied to the Ottomans as well, so just definitely no, because look at the Ottomans. But I digress. I tagged Baluchistan a few times because they are super weak for whatever reason. Like, well, I guess they don't really have that good of provinces, but yeah, it was just a walk in the park because they had like two forts right here. Like one was level 1 and one was level 2, and that was the whole like they're just the only forts in this country. Actually, they're like up here. But yeah, it was really easy to take on Baluchistan because you just didn't have. Well, he was allied to. I think he was allied to Delhi, and I had to fight off Delhi, which was a pain in the butt. But I was able to, just be Baluchistan. Yeah, Syria. So I pretty much took like right here. I pretty much took the border with pretty much the border with the Indian region, like where the India ends and like Persia begins. Because I mean, I don't need that Persian land. It's not very good anyways. Just going for the achievement. But yeah, Ottomans are still expanding, but thankfully I was able to ally them. Also, Venice, like there was some sort of European war. Also look at Bohemia, but like there was some sort of European war, and France and Venice ended up being at war with each other. So Venice had pretty much no allies, so I just attacked him, and like took all like the Roman land he took, well, the Papal State land he took, which overextended me like crazy. So yeah, I would not recommend overextending yourself, especially in India, because you will face rebel after rebel after rebel, and autonomy doesn't matter because rebels don't care about the autonomy anymore. They just want to take back their lands. But yeah, definitely don't get overextended. Don't get greedy, because you will pay for it. But yeah, also France integrated Britain, so you had Britain and all his colonies. Oh, I didn't realize all his land form, but and he had all his colonies. So yeah, I wasn't thrilled about that. I think it was like around here that he attacked. No, Britain was still alive whenever he attacked me. But yeah, that was just not a fun war. But yeah, pretty much like the New World's kind of settled in at this point, except for like right here. But France is colonizing that. Yeah, like the New World's pretty much done at this point. The East Indies are pretty much done at this point. Yeah, Ternate like just colonized so much. Oh, I took Australia because Ottomans decided they wanted a piece of that down under, and I was just like, yeah, you don't really need it. So I decided snipe it from them. Well, a little bit of it from them. There wasn't too much good that came from here. Like I think I got one gold province, which was cool, but it really wasn't just that good. Also, I decided to colonize Siberia because there's nowhere else left to go. So might as well get all the fur and like iron and stuff that I could get. No gold though, which was a shame. But then I like pretty much stopped focusing on Europe at this point. I just went straight for India because I just wanted to get the achievement for Lucky Lucca, which I did get right here. See, I own luck now, and I think I got it whenever I attacked Baluchistan because Baluchistan was allied to Delhi, and I don't know. I was like impatient at that point, so like instead of peaced out Delhi just for luck now, just so I could get the achievement. I don't know. I mean, it's just being impatient, which isn't a good thing. But I got the achievement. I was like, yes, good. Okay, let's end the session for now. And then I came back. France unrivaled me, thankfully, and we were able to ally. And I had like Ottomans and France on my side. I was allied to I was rival to Portugal and Venice, but then I ate them. And then I think I was rival to them. And then Malacca and Wu, which at this point is like super scary because they're pretty much like they have all the good Chinese provinces, but they don't have to worry about Celestial Empire, which makes them even stronger. But yeah, I pretty much took like the outside border of Delhi at this point, which really overextended me, and I just had to face rebel after rebel after rebel, and I had no manpower. I think I was like 110k in the hole at that point. It was just insane, and I was just it was awful. And then I was just like, I couldn't attack anybody because I couldn't. I didn't have the manpower to. But yeah. And then, of course, I was like, oh, it'll be fine. And so I attack Bengal and take all that land. Because I was like, I'm so close. Forget what I just, said and what I just went through with all those rebels. Let's just take more land and overextend ourselves even more. And yeah, that was not fun. But I was, happy at this point because I pretty much have like the outside border for, all of India at this point. And then I took the rest of Delhi, and then rebels, just rebels everywhere. And then it was at we're getting close to the point where I had to declare on Portugal for these last two provinces. However, Manyang over here had Sadia. I'm sorry if I'm butchering these names, but they had Sadia, so I had to declare on them. But they were allied to Shu and Shun and Ning, which I guess got eaten. Anyways, I had to declare on them, and that was a lot of mountain fun. But so I'm pretty much 200 manpower in the hole. I'm getting 1,000 manpower a month, even though I have all of India, most of Italy, and huge amounts of colonial nations. It just wasn't enough. I was just so starved for manpower. If you do, watch this and try to do the achievement, just keep your manpower pool decent. And take quantity. Forget plutocratic. Take quantity as your first idea. It will help you so much. But yeah, we're nearing, at this point I pretty much attacked Portugal, and so I could get Goa and Desh, and I took Porto and Lisboa, and I made Lisboa a trade city just because. And so I had to fight Spain and Portugal at the same time, which I had France and Ottomans on my side, and surprisingly, you think I'd be able to just walk over all this and just take it easily. Spain actually put up quite a fight, because I don't know what happened to the Ottomans, but their troops were so weak. Spain was just going around in North Africa and just stack wiping him. I think the Ottomans, I think they started the war with 300,000 men and ended with 20,000. It was insane. Their discipline, the Ottoman discipline was normal. It was pretty good. It was 115 or whatever, but they had no morale, and Spain just came in and just curb stomped them. But thankfully I had France, because France just came in and just put in the work on these level 8 forts. Oh my gosh, it took forever, but I was able to white peace out Spain, and from there it was just Portugal by themselves, and that was really easy because France. And so I pretty much took Porto, Lisbon, and these two provinces and cored them, and I had mastery of India, and here we are now. I had the option to form Tuscany, but I didn't, just because I didn't want the game to crash or something bad to happen. Also, I could have formed the Italian nation, but I couldn't form Tuscany whenever I had the Tuscan provinces, which are, I think, these. You have to have these three, and then Siena or Lucca to form Tuscany. Yes. But I didn't want to form it because I think that makes the achievement for Lucky Lucca invalid. So just didn't take it. But I kind of want to see what it's like to. I've never formed Tuscany before. Also, what are these claims? Tuscany gains permanent claim on Mexico. What? Sure. What are these new ideas? Oh man! I didn't realize it gave me that. Nah, that's alright. Yeah, that's bad. That's pretty good. That's pretty good as well. Oh my gosh, I should have gotten that. And discipline. Oh, I should have formed Tuscany as soon as I got in luck now. Like, as soon as I got Lucky Lucca, I should have formed Tuscany. Those ideas are so much better than Italian. And, I mean, the color is kind of... I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's not bad. Also, yeah, forts everywhere. Look at the money I have, 50k. Like, trade republics are no joke. But yeah, like level 8 forts, the development is crazy here. Like 37, 39, 30, because I just was always maxed out on points because I'm a republic and you're able to just spam whenever you want. Like, republics are just really overpowered. But yeah, it was just really good. Also, did it change the color of my colonial? I don't think it changes the color. Yes, it does. Oh, that looks awful. Oh, never. Just don't form. Oh, ew. Oh, it's so gross. Okay, time to form Italy. Sure. Yeah, but Italian ideas are just not good. Not good at all. Wait, what? Hold on. This is different. Yeah, this is definitely different. What? I thought Lucca had typical Italian ideas. This is definitely not what I had. Yeah, this is definitely not what I had. Oh, that would have been great to have. But yeah, these are my ideas, like plutocratic, exploration, economic, trade, expansion, offensive, quantity, and humanist, which I didn't touch because, I mean, I already got everything I want at by this point. Oh, I guess I'm a kingdom now. Yeah, empire. No, wait, yeah, monarchy. But yeah, I mean, it's just like this is pretty much all from trade. Like 275, and like I'm not really good at optimizing trade, so this was like me like kind of trying at trade, but like again, I'm not very good at it. But mercantilism is 40. I mean, we're able to fund all of the forts in our country, which like includes like India's forts, which are kind of just scattered and gross looking. But I didn't feel like, you know, tearing them down and then replacing them. So like, yeah, that was a lot of fun. We were reformed, and then like everything here is like trade companies, because like whenever you form trade companies, you can't really convert it anymore. Yeah, like Indian trade company, and I didn't realize like all of India wasn't like able to turn into trade companies, so like I just kind of like ignored these because I thought I would just automatically turn them into trade companies, but no. Yeah, it was rebel paradise up here, but I didn't have any forts. Well, I do. Like, but they like spawn like here, so like I had to fight rebels in the mountains, and they just whooped my butt. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this campaign. I guess let's release these nations. You know, you've been under my rule. You guys have been good, but let's just release you. Can I release you? I forgot how to do that. Hold on, let me find. I always like doing this at the end of campaigns, just like releasing countries, because, I mean, why not? I mean, I'm not really going to continue this campaign anymore. I mean, I am close to the end, but, I mean, I've gotten the achievements I want. You know, I can't find the button, so never mind, you're just going to stand under my rule forever. No, wait. Yeah, no, you're staying under my rule forever. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you like this, leave comments. Say you like this, or if you want me to do it again, something like that. It'd be really like helpful. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Bye.